from Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks. He tweeted this out today. I have never seen both sides of an election this confident. One of them is very wrong. Both sides are in their own bubble and don't realize there is a reality outside of those bubbles. So whoever loses is going to be absolutely shocked. Kamala Harris was losing in 6 out of the last 7 polls in Michigan, but now she's up by 4 in that state in the last poll. This thing keeps swinging back and forth. I've never seen it so unpredictable.
So apparently, from sources close to YouTube, it is being reported that Cenk Uygur is literally Hitler. And in this one, Tim Pool and his crew over at Timcast IRL break down a post on X from Cenk Uygur claiming that he's never seen both sides of an election so confident. One of them is very wrong. Both sides are in their own bubble and don't realize there is a reality outside of those bubbles. So whoever loses is going to be absolutely shocked. And that could be true, but I blame the mainstream media for propping up Kamala Harris like she's some kind of saint and just conveniently forgetting that nobody cared about her up until the point that she was appointed the Democrat nominee. But let's get into it.
You know, I'll be nice because I think he's on the right track, but Cenk Uygur, I don't think he has a mind for this space. It is true that no one knows what's going to happen, but Trump supporters absolutely are not sitting here screaming, we've got this one in the bag. In fact, despite the polls and Polymarket and everything favoring Trump, they're screaming, everyone get out and vote, get everyone to vote because there's going to be some shenanigans. We've got to swamp the vote. There is still fear within Republicans they're going to lose. And despite the fact that Polymarket has Trump at right now 61.7 and Kamala Harris is 38.5, Real Clear Politics has Trump winning every single battleground state and all battleground states in aggregate. Democrats are still saying, we're going to win, we're going to win. And it may not be because they're deluded. It's because they have to say it. They can't drop the morale of their voter base by saying there's no point, don't even bother.
And I just wanted to cut in briefly and give you the updated Polymarket numbers because Tim Pool put this video out a couple days ago. And that is that now Trump is ahead 66.7% to Kamala Harris's 33.4%. So it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And that is with 6 days, 12 hours, 9 minutes, and 0 seconds to vote.
So certainly there are elements of both sides that are confident. But I think what we're seeing here with the polls, Polymarket, is the general view of the public is that Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to win and win bigly, but no one knows for sure. I think it's fair to say if Democrats are claiming they're going to win, it is because they are intentionally ignoring the reality of this. So to say it's both sides and it's swinging back and forth and nobody knows is totally wrong, but at least somewhat on the right track.
You know, I heard about Cenk Uygur. I heard he was literally Hitler.
I heard that too.
Isn't that crazy?
You just heard it just
Let me
from him.
show you a source.
Report on it.
Yeah, a source close to YouTube told me that he was literally Hitler. And
So is his nephew as well.
You have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Take a look at this from the battlegrounds. Trump is up 0.9. So he says, like, what did he say? Michigan? He says Kamala was was down in the polls in Michigan. Okay, well, in Michigan right now, Trump is up 0.2 in aggregate. And if we jump in, he is correct that Quinnipiac has +4 for Kamala Harris. But around the exact same time frame, Trafalgar has Trump up 2. These polls are largely meaningless. It's fair to say no one knows for sure. Hence, Republicans are screaming, get as many people to vote as possible. But what happens?
Well, my thoughts are I've been studying Imperial Strategy a lot lately. 1947 is when the British Empire technically ended. After World War II, they basically turned it into the liberal economic order. They're like, we're done with this, like, having an emperor guy control it. We're just going to make a liberal economic order controlled by the CIA and MI6. So, like, I was studying...
CIA didn't exist in 1947.
Well, 1949 is when they officially launched it, but it was around, it had a different name, like, since the 30s or something. 1975, there's the Australian coup. I don't know if you guys have really ever studied this, but they appointed a governor general to overthrow this Australian prime minister that was Go was his name, and he wanted to get out of Vietnam and take away Pine Gap from American sovereignty. He's like Australia first, and they're like, no, that can't happen. Empire must succeed. So the CIA got this governor general, got the king to like appoint him, and like it's basically like late stage Roman Republic where the Praetorian Guard's in control of the emperor, and if the emperor crosses them, he's done for.
Are you suggesting that polls and predictions are meaningless because the deep state will put Kamala in?
Yes. And I think that they like closeness because it makes good media attention to think it's within 2. But
It makes Republicans think we have a fighting chance if we keep pushing.
And the CIA is controlling the game. And I think that they're going to, it's stacked against us. I mean, I still think go out and vote because Donald Trump did win in 2016, but they didn't feel threatened against him in 2016, whoever they are. This strategy, this imperial strategist.
You know, it'd be really funny.
Bureaucrats.
If it would be really funny if that Trump was supposed to win on the merits, but the Democrats, the deep state was cheating to install Hillary, but then the Russians pressed the button turning off their computer so that Trump actually won on the merits, and then they were like, "Oh crap, it was the Russians," but the Russians actually didn't cheat to help Trump. You know what I mean? Like a multi-layered conspiracy of conflicting intelligence agencies from Russia to the
We need
U.S.
to stop them from cheating. And they're like, they're stopping us.
Exactly. Because of Russia, we lost, but we were cheating. I'm not saying that happened. I'm saying, wouldn't it be funny if what actually happened is that Trump did win, but Democrats were going to press a button to flip the votes to support Hillary, but then the Russians flipped a button to flip their votes back. So Trump ended up winning normally, and then they were like, how did we not win?
The riggers. It's rigged.
It does feel like we're part of like a pre-planned thing. But Trump winning in 2016 gave me outside of that perspective. I was pretty, and I consider this a form of being black-pilled, feeling like, look, the CIA runs the show. It always has. Kennedy got offed. You know, they overthrew the prime minister in Australia in 1975. He wasn't serving the king or whatever, whoever's running the show, MI6. I don't know, man. I think Trump does represent American sovereignty in the sense he kind of gives like business first, local economics first, and that there's like a global governance scheme that's kind of like trying to position and control the world through economics and military force if they have to. And Trump's kind of like indicates it's in the way.
Control the world through economics. What do you?
Well, they want this liberal economic dollar.
What is your concern about that?
The vulnerability of fiat currency, that if they can print as much as they want and bribe people, like bribe countries and buy them.
I don't know what it is, but Phil loves to challenge Ian when he goes into these like philosophical deep dives. And it cracks me up because I think Phil believes that Ian is an idiot. But me personally, I think Ian is just on a journey and he's just sharing what he knows, what he's learning, and he's okay with being wrong. But I don't know. It just cracks me up, right? And, you know, I just want to say that we got less than a week left till this election. It is very much the most important election of our lifetime. And I recommend, if you are able, to get out there and vote early, just to avoid something that's what's going on with me today, actually. The plan was to go out and cast our votes early, but it just so happens that my wife is being held up at work, and we don't know when we're actually going to be able to go. So with that said, thankfully, it was just a plan to vote early, and we still have the opportunity to vote tomorrow. But if this were election day, it would become an issue. Potentially could be an issue at least, right? And I just want to echo this post here from the Persistence, aka Scott Pressler, who's been doing a lot of work getting Republicans registered in the state of Pennsylvania. Vote like your lives depend on winning, because in my opinion, they certainly do. And so anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.